Hey YouTube, welcome back. So in this video, I'm going to speak a little bit about what is a boundary, okay? Because I do notice there's some confusion or struggle in people being able to set their own boundaries. And if you've never been conscious that boundaries are a thing that you need to have, that's normal that you would struggle to set them, okay? So a boundary is a deal breaker. It's something that you won't accept. So if I use myself as an example, I don't accept toxic behavior, okay? And toxic behavior for me includes, but not limited to, manipulation, the silent treatment, aggression, passive aggression. You know, when you're trying to have a conversation and someone's really on the defense, and then you just get entangled in things that you didn't mean, trying to lay out what you did mean, but then it's getting confused because it's being taken personally. You just end up in an entangled mess. I don't accept aggression, people slamming things around, you know, those types of people, if you've ever lived with them. They're slamming doors, they're slamming things around on the side, they're making it pretty obvious that they're in an angry mood, but you ask them what's wrong and you either don't get an answer or you just get nothing. All right, I won't tolerate that kind of behavior. I would remove myself, should I say, because I'm not around any of that, but if I was to be, I would remove myself. Okay, if it continued, then I'm sorry, it would be goodbye, quite simply, because for me it's a deal breaker. There's certain things I will not tolerate, and there where my boundary is set. So what other things could be? So try to think of other things that could be around people. What could be a boundary? So I won't tolerate people using misdirection or blame shifting, or what other things? People that make you feel like you have to walk on eggshells. For me, they're deal breakers. So if I was around somebody that started exhibiting those traits, it would be goodbye. The first time I'd probably say, why are you doing this? Okay, because it feels like this and this to me. You know, give them a chance to explain what the problem is. If it gets discussed and, oh, you know, I'm sorry, it wasn't meant to make you feel like that. I was in a bad mood, I was stressed, and I'm taking it out on the people around me, and they apologise. And then going forward, they switch up how they handle their stress. You know, they could be in a mood and they just say to you, do you know what, now's not a good time, I need some time on my own. There's a healthy way to communicate that you're not okay without inflicting it on other people or making other people feel like they need to walk on eggshells because of how you're feeling. All right, so those types of things would be a deal breaker. After the first time, I would talk to them about it. If it continued, if it was to happen a second time, I would step back emotionally from whatever the relationship was. Right, if it went on to happen a third time, it's goodbye, adios. No, there's no more, oh, let's talk about it and sort it out. That's it. Third time, you're out. Okay, because what I used to mistake a boundary for in previous relationships, if my partner were to do something that I found hurtful or upsetting or frightened me, right, I thought by bringing it up and talking about it and venting, probably not in a healthy way, I'd be raising my voice, probably using cuss words. Okay, probably get to that point. That's not healthy from me either. Okay, I acknowledge that. So I would try and communicate it, wouldn't get anywhere. Then I get emotional and angry, still trying to work through whatever the problem is or talk about it, right? So we've done the arguing about it, right? If that behaviour continues to happen a second, third and fourth time, and each time I kick up a fuss or raise a complaint about it or try and discuss it to see if there's a way that they can either communicate their emotions and feelings better or adapt to a new way to handling things, whatever, okay? In my old life, I thought doing all that, raising an issue. The second time they do it, the third time they do it, the fourth, the sixth, the seventh, the eighth. I thought that was me honouring a boundary, right? I'm raising an issue about what the problem is with somebody else's behaviour around me, but it continues and I keep raising an issue. That's not setting a boundary. I would confuse, keep arguing or getting into it with the other person about something they may be doing. I thought that was standing up for myself, okay? Tackling it head on, trying to discuss it and talk about it. I thought that was within keeping a boundary. But I would do that. I mean, they could do the same thing up to 20 times. I was under the illusion that I wasn't just letting it go because I was raising a fuss about it, telling them, I don't like this behaviour from you. But I would be doing that 20 times. So I wasn't setting a boundary. I was allowing the behaviour, okay? And the other person, do you know that saying, it's easier to ask for forgiveness than permission? It's so true, because they don't ask for permission from you to do that behaviour, okay? What they do is, manipulative people I'm talking about, or toxic individuals, they will, after it's calmed down, after the argument's calmed down about whatever the issue was, they will be all apologetic typically, and no, I won't do it again. I didn't realise I was affecting you like that. And then here we are 6 weeks later, 2 months later, the same issues come up again. It gets kicked off about whatever at this point, because now you've had it's happening like 10 times and you're really like losing your patience about it. You've had enough of keep dealing with this behaviour, right? Is the problem the other person, or was the problem me? I would say that the problem was me, because that person is how they are. I've tried to talk to them about behaviours I don't like. They may not have told me in words, I'm going to do this and keep doing it, right? But they do by their behaviour, okay? So patterns of behaviour are what we need to look at. Not what the person's saying, because they can lie. Not what the person's doing, because they can do gestures that are a lie. Giving you flowers. They can show good behaviour for certain periods. It's the patterns that we need to look for. So in that past relationship where I was having repeated issues and thinking I was standing up for myself because I kept voicing it and letting them know, right? The behaviour continued. It was not, that's not a boundary. And I do see that happen a lot on YouTube with online friendships or people in the community, okay? They'll have the same issue and they'll keep raising the same issue, right? But it's like, it's not registering, okay? That's how that person is, right? What are you now going to do about it? What can you do about yourself, right, to handle that better? And it may be that you have to remove yourself from being around that person, okay? If it's online, block them. But repeatedly telling people that you don't like certain behaviours, but you still stick by them, is not setting a boundary. A boundary is a deal breaker. A deal breaker may be, I will not accept cheating. You cheat once, you're out. I will not accept an emotional affair. You do that, you're out. I will not accept being given the silent treatment and stonewalled, ignored, ghosted. If that happens, I'm out. But you have to stick to it. It's all very well and good laying out all these boundaries on a piece of paper, things that you will not accept. You have to stick to it. And the only thing that's going to make you stick to it is acknowledging to yourself that you matter, and you implementing those boundaries is a benefit to you. It doesn't matter how they impact or affect anybody else. The boundaries are for you to keep you safe. They keep you from getting entangled in toxic mind games, right? They stop you being used, abused, and possibly manipulated. Your boundaries are for you. They are deal breakers. So think of things that you will not tolerate. If they show up, you have a discussion about it, and it goes on to happen a second time, right? You need to implement some kind of a distance, right? Because already they've done it a second time. It's highly likely they're going to do it again. If it goes on to happen again, it may be that that's where you decide to walk away. For me, that would be where I decide to walk away and leave it alone. The thing is, life is short, okay? Do you want to keep being entangled in confusing and combative or toxic relationships? Or do you want your time to be more positive? Give your energy to genuine people, people that that you can relate to and that respect you and respect your boundaries. The choice is yours, what kind of behavior and what kind of people you're going to stick around and what you're going to tolerate. The deal breakers, again, are things you will not tolerate. So you can't set a boundary, right? And then if something happens that impacts that boundary, you have to act. Take notice of it. Okay, don't let it go. This is your boundary for you. Your boundaries are for you to keep you safe. Okay, keep them. You're worth it. I see so many great, amazing people just being churned out by toxic, nasty. I think they get it in their heads that they need to keep giving more chances. No, you don't need to keep giving more chances. If there's been 2 instances of the same behavior that you don't like, hurts you, upsets you, triggers you, whatever it does to you internally, if it's happening and it gets to the second point, now is your time to sit up and start paying attention, because here we are at a second time. Happens again. What are you going to do? Make the decision. Are you going to allow it, or are you going to keep the boundary? And you don't need to have the discussion, oh, I've set a boundary and you've broken it, so now we're parting ways. You can back away slowly, quietly. All right, you don't need to because typically anyway, if somebody's impeding your boundaries, right, repeatedly, that's a red flag. First off, that's not a good sign. So pay attention. Okay, keep boundaries. They're for you. They look after you. They keep you safe. Okay, take care and see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.